Today we're going to be learning about the basics of HTML to get you guys started learning how to code. So the first thing that I want you to do is create a folder somewhere that you remember. I put mine on my desktop and I called it my website, and then you're going to just create a file called my_page.html. So you can do that by opening your text editor and just opening a new file, creating a new file, and then saving it. And you can save it, as whatever you want. Just make sure that the extension is .html, and then you'll go ahead and save it into the folder that you've created on your desktop, or maybe in your documents folder. And so you should just have the HTML file in this folder. I also have an images folder, and if you plan on following along with this, you can go ahead and do that too. So you would just create a new folder, call it images, and then I have a dog picture here. You can put any picture that you want in this folder. It can be a picture of a dog if you want to, quick pause this video and go get a picture of a dog, or it can just be, a picture that you have of you or your friends or something. So we'll now go to, so this page is what I'm working on here. And I want to show you guys what it looks like as we go along. So I also have this browser window open here. So to go ahead and get started, I just need to do the doc type declaration, and it's just doc type HTML, and you'll notice there's an exclamation mark, doc type HTML. Now, if you've ever seen these kind of the tags that start off the HTML document before, you might have seen a lot more information in them. You don't need that anymore. Now that we're using HTML5, that's all you need. And then the next thing is you just need to tell the browser, hey, I'm going to be using HTML right now. Now that is called a tag in between those two little brackets. And what you want to do when you start a tag is almost always go ahead and end it so that you don't forget, because that can really mess you up when something is going wrong with your page and you're really not sure what happened. It could be because you forgot to close a tag. So this tag here, the ending tag, which is just the backslash in the HTML, that's the end of my document. So after this, there will be absolutely nothing. So there will be a ton of stuff in here, but I want to go ahead and end the HTML so that I don't forget. So the next thing I want to do is my head, and I'm going to go ahead and close that part too. And then in the head, so the head section is the place that the browser looks to get a bunch of information. So things that you put in the head will not show up on your page in the browser. So there's a lot of, meta tags with metadata. There, for example, might be a link to a style sheet or a link to a JavaScript file, kind of telling the browser what to reference. I'm not going to worry about those now. You don't have to worry about them now. So I'm just going to do something really simple, which is just a title. And I'm going to call this my page. And then here, I'm going to go ahead and open the file, and you'll remember that it's in my website and then my page. I'm going to go ahead and open it here. So you'll notice that there's nothing here, except you do see that this my page is here. So that's the only place this shows up, but nothing in the head will actually show up on the actual page here. So if I were to change this to Kristen's page and save it, then when I refreshed, it says Kristen's page up here, but it doesn't say anything here. And then the last section that you need to create is the body section. And anything that you put in the body section, don't forget to close it, will show up on your page. Now, just to take a second here and tell you kind of what's going on. So you may be wondering how you're able to view this file in a browser. And I'll show you what the browser is looking at. So I'm going to copy this link just to show you it. It doesn't belong in your HTML file, but I want you to be able to see the whole thing. So this Chrome, in this instance, is looking into my desktop file and then my website folder and finding my page.html. If you were to send this this path to somebody else, they would not get to your file. This is on your computer. You're the only one who has access to it, but the browser can take and render it for you and show you what it looks like. So it's just like if you created a file, a document, and then you open that up in Word. Word is showing you what it looks like, but it's just on your computer and you're the only one who can see it. So your file that you're creating is not currently on the internet. It is simply on your computer, but you can still view it because browsers will render HTML files. So let's go ahead and put something in the body section so that you can see it working. So we're going to put a heading. And headings are, they have headings from H1 to H6, with H1 being the largest and H6 being the smallest. So I might put the title of my page here, and then when I save it and refresh in the browser, you can see it has my page. We haven't told the browser anything specific about how we would like it to be rendered. So it's simply in, looks like Times New Roman, it's black font, it's bold, and that is about it. It's just doing what it would do by default. So, later we'll get into CSS and styling and telling the browser how we want things to look. But for now, the browser is just rendering what it would by default. So to show you another heading, maybe I would put like a little subhead underneath it. This is a great page, and then end it. And H3 will be a little bit smaller if we refresh here. So it's still bold, but it's in a smaller font, and that is what this browser renders by default. So again, H1 is the biggest, H6 is the smallest, and then it goes down in between. So now we'll go ahead and add a paragraph. And to add a paragraph, you do a p tag and then end it. And in here, I'm going to go ahead and put this text called lorem ipsum, which is filler text. So a lot of designers or developers use lorem ipsum when they don't have content yet, but they want to see what their site would look like with content. So I'll just copy some of this and go ahead and paste it into here and save it. And then you can see when you refresh in your browser that there is your paragraph. So again, lorem ipsum is just a filler text, so you can kind of see what your site would look like if you had the content ready. Another thing that I want to show you is how to put an image in. So to start, you're going to start your image tag, and then you're going to give it a source. And the source, this is how you tell the browser, hey, this is where this image is. Please go ahead and put it on the page. So you will remember that we have an images folder. And when we have dog.jpg in there. We're already in the My Website folder, so we just have to tell the browser to go to the images folder, and then in the images folder, go to dog.jpg. And some other extensions for images that you might see are JPG, PNG, GIF, those are all images. And then we tell the browser, hey, it's in this folder, it's this file, please go ahead and show it to the user. And then when we refresh this page, you have this picture of this dog, and the browser again gets it from my computer. I have this dog picture saved onto my computer. So if I were to send this file to, let's say I took this HTML file and I didn't send the folder to anyone else, I just sent this file to someone else. So maybe for your homework, you're gonna send me your HTML file. If you have an image that you want me to see, you're gonna have to send me the image as well, or just the folder with all of your files in it. Because otherwise, if I just get an HTML file and maybe you send it to me and I save it on my desktop, then the browser is gonna look for an images folder on my desktop and for a dog picture in that folder, and it's not gonna find anything. So it's gonna do this. So let's just say it was looking for an elephant file, which we know is not in that folder. It'll just give me a broken images link. So make sure that if you're telling me to go to a file that you actually provide that file. And we'll refresh it, there it is. Okay, so, for the most part, you're going to be hosting your own images, but let's just say, so you can kind of get the idea of how this works, that you are going to use an image from an outside site. So let's look something else up. Let's go ahead and look up a panda. And we'll take, maybe one of these images of a panda. So we've got this nice image of pandas hugging. Okay, so if I right click it and then I copy the image URL, then I can put that into the source. Now this, you'll see, has the web address of where this is hosted, but it's not on my computer. So if you were to send me this file, I would be able to see it because this picture of the pandas is on the internet. And you'll know that you're sending, that you're including the link to an image if it ends in the extension of an image. So if you were to, see this picture on this page, and you were to take this URL up here, I just copied this, and you were to put that in here, it would not work because, I'll go ahead and refresh this here. There's just nothing here because this is not an image. This is a website. So I'll go ahead and undo that and go back to the image and save it. And then if I refresh this, then it should give me the panda image. Of course, this is a gigantic image, but you can see that it is, in fact, here. So that is another way to show an image. Just make sure that it has the correct image extension. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is how to add a link and how you do that. And this is started with an A and then href equals, and then your quotes, kind of just like this source here, except it's the reference to the link. And what you do here, then you'll close your tag, and anything in between the opening and closing a tag is the text that will turn into a link. So when clicked, it'll go somewhere. So let's say my favorite website. Say that when people clicked my favorite website, I wanted it to go to, I don't know, maybe my favorite website is the New York Times. So if I go to the New York Times and copy that link, then if I put it here, and I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this panda image so that it's not in the way, and then save it. When I refresh this page, I have a link here, and if I click it, I go to the New York Times. So, you could also make this say the New York Times. Basically, whatever within the tags will go to whatever within the quotes. So I could even, if I had a paragraph and I was, referring to a certain article, maybe like, I read this article last week, and then maybe I go on to talk about it. I could make this article, the words, this article into a link. So I would put a href equals quote, quote. And then if I wanted the link to only be surrounding this article, I would have to make sure to end the A tag there. So let's say I was referring to this article, then I would copy the link and put it in here. And now when people click on this article, as if I go ahead and save it here and refresh, you can see that this is now a link. And if I click it, it goes to that article that we were just on. So that is how you add a link. The last thing I'm going to show you is embed something. So we've been working in WordPress, and you know that there's the visual tab and then there is the text tab, and the text tab reads HTML. So we've been inserting embed code into that tab, and you can do it the same way here. So let's say that I wanted to embed a YouTube video, because that YouTube makes it pretty easy to embed videos. Let's say I wanted to embed a video of a koala. Then I could go to share and then embed, and it gives me this code. And sometimes it gives you some options, so I can pick, the size that I want it to be. I have some options here, but I'll just go ahead and copy this, and then I'll go ahead and put it into my page. So this is creating an iframe. Iframes aren't really that popular anymore, but it is an indication of an embed code. An iframe is something that shows content from another site on your site. So in this case, it's showing a video on your site, but the source of the video is YouTube. So you can see that source is here, and it's telling it how wide, how high, and so when I save this and refresh it, you can see that I have this video on my page. So when you get embed code, it's actually very, very easy to make that content appear on your own page. So hopefully that is helpful, and in the next video we will talk about some more HTML.